Bryan Houston here with Coach Kyle Westerberg of the Whitehouse Wildcats, who are now on a 2-game winning streak. They beat the Jacksonville Fighting Indians 28-14 on Friday night at the Tomato Bowl. What'd you think of the Tomato Bowl?
That's an awesome setting. I was talking to Coach Coleman, and he kind of gave me the history rundown of it. What did he say? Like 1942,
Yeah.
Something like that. A WPA project, and it's just a cool setting. And you don't get to play in many places like that with that history. I've driven by it a bunch, but actually to get in it and play it, and I've seen it on video a couple times, but to actually go and play in something that historical is pretty neat deal.
Well, it was pretty neat too that you were able to get the win, and other than just a little bit of third quarter dramatics, it was pretty solid, and you didn't have a whole lot of gray hairs coming out of that thing.
No, I mean, we started off fast, which is kind of what you want to do in a game, and we were able to start off fast. We kind of got in the third quarter, we started rotating some guys in, and some guys that don't get to regularly play every game got an opportunity to go in. So, that's kind of where you saw a little bit of a letdown. But credit to those guys, they were able to finish and get the game done.
So 2 games in a row. Tell me about the mood, the feel of the team after the game, and then coming back to work on Monday.
I think we're playing with a lot of confidence. Obviously winning, we talked about it, I think last week, winning takes care of a lot of things, especially mentally, physically. And so, after the game, everybody was excited, families, the kids are getting that taste of what they've been going through the first 7 weeks. They're getting a taste of winning and remember what it feels like. And then they did a good job of being able to stack, wins on top of each other. And I credit that on how they practiced. You keep having good practices and stacking good practices on top of each other, and then the outcome will take care of itself. And so I believe right now they're playing with a lot of confidence. And obviously, yesterday's practice was probably our best Monday practice we've had all year long. Kids were flying around, and they're ready to go out with a bang this week.
Talk a little bit about, first of all, your offense. It looked like your passing game opened up a little bit because you've been focused on the run there, and the quick outs, the bubble screens, and things like that I think you told me back before the season started that you'd be doing a lot of. We hadn't seen a lot of recently, but Friday night it turned into an explosive play for a touchdown.
Since we've made the change and been focusing more on the run, I feel like we've got a good group of young guys, especially our skill guys, Reed, Jermod, and the Carlton, those guys, and the running backs, and Josh. We've got a good group of guys that, our focus this week was how many, touches can we get them early? We know going in that when you look at run pass percentage, we're probably a 60-40, maybe close to a 70-30 run to pass ratio right now. But we just had to dial Josh in and get him where it's a 1 to 2 to run read. And I felt like, our guys offensively did a good job prepping him and getting him ready to go, be able to take shots when we need to take shots on certain downs. And then, we're not good enough right now just to line up in a base offense and just line up and tee up and run the football at you. We've got to create a lot more the misdirection stuff. And I know you saw a lot of that Friday night, being able to disguise some things with, that was the big screenplay that Reed catches on the third down on the first drive is, we disguise a run heavy formation with everybody going one way, and then we throw it back to Reed, and there's really one guy, Cole Laird, makes a great block. Reed gets inside of that, and then he's got enough explosive speed that he can go take it to the house. So moving forward, that's what we have to do. We've got to be able to create misdirection be able to put Josh in positive situations where he knows where to go with the football. And I think he was 13 of 18, had his best performance all year long.
You mentioned misdirection, and the reverse to Gerard McCoy was a classic example of that, because everybody bit going to the right on defense, and there was nobody out there on the other end.
We do. That's just the simple things we've got to, I've learned that in the last 7 years I've worked for my dad. Being his offensive coordinator, his whole deal was, we're going to carry a reverse a game. We're going to carry a couple of gadgets a game, and we're going to run them. I mean, we practice them. We're going to run them. We still have a few left in our bag. We prepped for quite a few last week, but we still got a bunch left in our bag right now that, you're going to probably see a few more Friday night, but it's just different ways, different looks to get the ball into our playmakers' hands. With Jermod on that one, it was he had an option to throw it, and he had an option to run it. Obviously, he took the run because he felt like it was open and he could get in. But just being able to give the different looks to those guys, and not just yes, you're doing a smash mouth football type offense, but we're moving guys around and getting guys going different directions.
How'd you feel your defense did?
They did good. I felt like watching it, we missed a few tackles because of body position. And I talked to the kids about, that was how we kind of practiced Monday and Tuesday. We were in the right spots, but our bodies weren't in position. So, we overran a few, but as they kind of made a few drives, we did a good job of, number one, winning the turnover battle. We were able to get a couple of sacks. I think I mentioned, last time to you, that quarterback did a good job of making plays scrambling. And so we were able to contain him, keep him in the pocket where he couldn't just get out of the pocket and make plays off the scramble drill stuff. So I felt like we did a good job of containing him, containing the passing game. There's a few things we got to clean up in the run game, but other than that, I was pleased how we played.
One of the things that we talked about Friday night was it's kind of you really do a great job going sideline to sideline. People don't do a good job of running sideline to sideline against you. You guys do a really good job of pursuit. You've got speed, and you can bottle things up. It's the stuff right up the middle. It's the stuff between the tackles where it really, where you struggled this year. And yet you still showed some improvement. We're able to get off the field on some of those drives.
I think that just goes back to we got some young kids. That goes back to off-season preparation, just pure strength. And so my focus going forward is the weight room. We've got to get a lot stronger. I feel like we kind of get off the bus and we don't look apart. But there's one way to fix it, and then that's put them in that weight room and get them to buy in. And I think they are. We're a lot stronger right now than we ever have been, especially in season. Usually in season, you're maintaining injury prevention, but we've been lifting to get stronger. And our kids are pushing some weight around. So in next year, they're all going to benefit from it. They're basically getting what I'm saying. They're getting 2 off seasons. We're going to get stronger in season, and we're lifting up to 95 to 100% of their maxes from. I think we remaxed maybe on our open week. So those guys are up there lifting and getting stronger. But some of that stuff, the runs up the middle. And it could be some gap discipline things. We get into a couple of situations where got a couple of guys fitting wrong gap wise, but just overall strength and being able to win some one-on-one battles up front.
All right, you played Texas High. They've already clinched the district championship. That looked like it was inevitable most of the season. They struggled against Nacogdoches. They trailed at the half. but they're so explosive offensively, and they run the ball really well, and have for the last couple of years. What are your thoughts? What do you see?
They're probably obviously the most talented team in the district. But one thing, you go back and look at it is everybody has played them pretty tight, and played them tough. I don't know if that's more so if they're down compared to last year, or is it more so is our district getting stronger? They do a really good job running the football from an offensive standpoint. They got a big offensive line, very physical. Running back's probably the best in the league right now. Very explosive, does a good job, real patient. And when he hits some things, he hits some things hard and he can go. Quarterback's the same kid from last year. Does a good job just distributing the ball to his playmakers outside. They got a different receiving core than what they had last year, but maybe not as fast as the kids that were last year, but just real smart, run great routes and great possession receivers. They can still knock the bottom off of it and beat you deep, but very talented offensively. Defensively, I mean, it's going to be like us playing Marshall, maybe a little bit better. Their defensive line is big, active. Got a big defensive end he's just all over the field. Doesn't matter, he's going to make plays in the backfield. He's going to go chase people down. We're just watching. We have 10 games on him, 9 games on him.
Yeah.
And, the play's going away down the sideline, and he's all across the other side on the other side of the field, goes all the way and makes a play as a defensive end. Very talented. Secondaries, good. I mean, we got a big true test in front of us. But these are the games you work for, you live for. Guys want to get recruited. Guys want to go play in the next level. This is kind of where I tell these kids, this is where you make your money. But I'm confident in our kids. They're playing with confidence, and getting these 2 wins is, I think our kids are going to go out there and go give them everything they got.
I was going to ask because last year, and I realize one year to the next is kind of unrelated, but last year Whitehouse went into that ball game at Texas High 8-1, and it was ugly. Just to be frank, it was ugly. The first half just got out of hand. And so how much do you concern yourself with a game like that when you're trying to get your kids ready for a game like this? And a lot of your kids played in that game last year.
I think just talking to the guys, from the coaching staff, I think they said, this year it's a different group of kids. As far as the mentality, a lot of these guys played against them last year on the varsity, and, they know they're talented, but, they're not scared,
Right.
worried. They're going to go out there and go play for 48 minutes and play as hard as they can, and they're going to go fight. So they know that's kind of in the back of their mind, but I don't think they're too concerned with in the past. I think these guys kind of know they know where the season lies right now. Pretty much know that mathematically we're out of it. We needed to beat Hallsville a while back and this game would have probably, mean a lot more if it still played out the way it's playing out. But I think they want to go out with a bang. And I keep telling them we're building to the future and building that this would be a big win or lose. I've told them this will be a big momentum builder going into the offseason, because you just played the best team in our district, who are the district champs, and you either played them close or you won. Mm-hmm. And so this is going to be a big momentum builder going into offseason. And I told some kids yesterday, we're trending in the right direction. It could be a lot worse, and we could be like some other teams in our district where they're losing their last 3 or last 4,
right,
and going into off season, and things are miserable. Whereas we're trending upward. I just told them we ran out of time.
Yeah.
That's kind of that's kind of what happened. Or if we had a few more ball games, we'd have an opportunity, I think. But, we're heading in the right direction with a lot of momentum heading into offseason.
Barring anything really crazy happening, this will be the last time we do this year. And that means that probably Friday night for a group of seniors, this will be the last time they put on the pads for Whitehouse. Talk a little bit about your first senior class and just your thoughts about them wrapping up their careers. I know it's been a hard year, but just give me some thoughts on them.
These kids, like I said, we had to replace a lot of these seniors. Were either on the varsity last year and didn't play very much. We have a handful that played last year a varsity football game, and then a lot of these kids were on the JV last year, and so this was their first varsity experience. But I just credit them. We got a good handful of them that just trusted the process, and they were frustrated. Obviously, but a lot of them were more frustrated with kind of how they played and how the outcome went. And so I think now they realize, I just appreciate them for embracing me and trusting me and having my back as we kind of go through these tough times. We'd like to send them out on a high note.
And just a little bit, I know, again, you got the last game, but just looking toward the future and what you have coming back and what you've got coming up, what do you see?
The future's bright. Like I said, we started, I think it was Hallsville. We started 6 sophomores. If you look at offensively right now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're starting 4 sophomores and playing a 5th that plays a little bit in there. Like I said, the receiver group's a junior, bunch of, they're juniors. Defensively, we're graduating quite a bit. Going to have to replace quite a bit defensively, but our JV, depending on what happens Thursday night, they got a chance to just have 2 or maybe 3 losses on the season. So they're either going to go 8-2 or they're going to go 7-3. Freshman wise, they've got 1 loss right now. Probably a very talented freshman group. Those guys have played great all year long versus some pretty good football teams. Kind of how everybody rolls in the district is that they kind of focus on their freshman group, and so our kids have played great against them. And then we've got a good 8th grade class right now with some talented kids that are going to be freshmen next year if they all stick it out and stay here. But the future is bright, and then the direction that we're headed right now, I think it's headed in the right direction.
Fantastic. Well, Coach, we appreciate you doing this every week. It's been fun to get to know you, and I know it's been a struggle, but as you said, you're trending in the right direction, and these last few weeks have definitely been entertaining, and I know there's been some energy in the field house now that probably wasn't there earlier in the season. But I do appreciate you doing this every week, and we look forward to seeing you guys play Friday night.
It's been a fun time. I've learned a lot my first year as a head coach, but very thankful for my family and their support. My wife, and then obviously my 2 daughters, Parker and Peyton. Those are my 2 biggest cheerleaders going through it. And then my wife, through these times, she's lifted me up, and it's tough, but I think I'm here for a reason. And so I credit these guys in this room next to me, the coaching staff that have done a good job sticking by my side and keeping this thing going the right direction. But, it's been a fun time. It's been challenging. I've learned a lot and know moving forward the direction we've got to go.
Well, again, best of luck to you Friday night. Thank you again for all of this. And we look forward to seeing you next year. And we look forward to a win on Friday night.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
All right. That's Coach Kyle Westerberg. I'm Bryan Houston. We're getting ready for the kickoff. Whitehouse and Texas High coming up.